inspired to push through. Because there's a spark in you. Breakthrough or bust. Hello, hello, beautiful souls. How are you? Welcome to Breakthrough or Bust. And let me just get some logistics out of the way. We are coming to you very differently today. I usually pre record Breakthrough or Bust, and today I am coming to you imperfectly amazing and not just coming to you live, but I am coming to you like I guess fresh in, like I am still in a reset. Okay. So I have been participating in a mind, body, soul reset for the last, well, this whole weekend, right? And I woke up this morning and my intuition said, one more day. One more day. So I am coming to you like sends makeup, hair is like pulled back. This is as imperfectly amazing as you can possibly get. Okay. So I wanted to, I don't know, let me just start from the beginning. I got this little nudge to do a reset. And I want to preface by saying I'm one of those people who is a hard pass on any kind of fasting or cleansing. And I mean, yes, I believe, I maintain a very healthy lifestyle. I, you know, make sure I'm getting the rest. I do all the things. I do all the things. And I've got my tea talks, like, every seasonal change, I'll do the tea talks for a week or so. And I had already done that. But what was happening was, and you can see it a little bit, every fall and spring, actually, I'll start to get like some redness around my eyes with the allergies. And this year it was probably the worst that I had ever gotten it. Where like I can actually see my eye in like the skin under my eye and the vision. It was so swollen. So I treated it, it went away, but then it came back. And I was like, you know what? I spent all spring like pussyfooting around this thing, right? And it took until like halfway through summer. And I was like, I'm so over it. I don't feel like doing it anymore. And then I had noticed like I was carrying some water weight and I was like, you know what? I'm over it. I don't think I want to do it. So I decided to do a reset. Like I don't like to say a cleanse because I'm not going to fast. What I decided to do was to use juice, right? Vegetable juicing and soups, vegetable soups, right? So very clean, very, low digestive because digestion takes up a lot of your energy. So I wanted to just do that real clean and allow my system to stop fighting whatever it's doing, and get back to a place where it's strong and heal. Um and it's funny because I come up with this idea. I'm like, I'm really thinking. My daughter's like, you know what? I'm in. I'll do it with you. I said, all right. And she's 18, so I'm not being, neglectful of my daughter's health. um, so we decided to go for it, but then I decided to take it another step further, and I was like, I never just do one without the other, right? Mind, the body, the soul, it's all connected. And so I decided to go even further. Like I already knew I wanted to do, some Reiki along with this to, do some time for me, like to be gentle with me and my body because I would be doing this. And I also decided, okay, no screens really. I mean, not 100% no screens, but definitely no TV, no watching shows, movies, anything like that, and no social media. So, I like to think I'm pretty good, but I'm not. I'm not. I could definitely be much better. I can definitely fall into bad habits. And so that was what I decided to do. So that was the excuse me. That was the reason going into it. Okay. So here's some of the things that I did. Um and I'll say that some of these things are things that I do on a daily basis, but then it just added so much more when I did it all together. I start the day with oil pulling, and that's just essentially, if you're not familiar, I like swoosh. I use coconut oil. You can do sesame oil too. You swish oil in your mouth for, I mean, not actively, vigorously, but you have it in your mouth and you're letting it swish around for about uh, actually, I think I end up doing 20 minutes because I'm not doing it real vigorously, but like while I'm doing other things. But yeah, I do that because what happens is at night while you sleep, bacteria comes to your mouth. And so if the first thing you do is eat or drink something, you wash it right back down into your body. So I do that, and then I follow that with a tongue scraping. Um, I gotta tell you, it's been excellent for dental health. Okay. So I do that, and then I then afterwards, after I clean out my mouth, I oh, and if you ever do this, please don't spit oil, the coconut oil, into your sink unless you want clogged pipes and a plumber to show up. So spit it in the garbage. So anyway, then I do lemon water, which is very cleansing. So then Saturday, I really, rewarded myself. I did some face massage, especially like qigong, lots of qigong technique and face massage, and I did some Reiki. I, did some tapping, like body tapping, all over my body. Uh, I have a almost a ritual every morning where I connect to the elements, I connect to the four directions. And yeah, so I did that. Then I really allowed myself to come back into intuition and just move, right? I put on some music and I let myself move. I let my body lead. And this is a practice that I do with the Desire Academy in my group. I call it the Dance of the Divine Feminine. It's each time we do it a little bit differently. Well, because the energy is different. And so allowing yourself to check in with your body and see what's going on. Your body's wisdom is so strong. Unfortunately, we've been so programmed to disconnect from the body. And if you've watched any episodes prior to this, I'm sure you've heard me jump on that soapbox many a times. So I find that this is a really powerful way to reconnect to yourself, to reconnect to your intuition. And so that's what I did. And truly, I love to get on the floor too. Get on the floor, roll around, stretch out, just do the thing. Let your body lead. So I did some of that. Um, and then I made some vegetable juice. We have a recipe that we love. And later on, I did some soup. I did a cauliflower soup on Saturday, and went visiting, had a tea party with some friends, so drank lots of tea. And it worked out that Sugar Buster and Chakra Glow were the teas of the day. Oh, and I actually drank a cup of tea talks before I left. So that, and yeah, came back, did some more soup, more juice, and found myself in bed, right? So then I did things like reading and just some quiet time and um, things like that, and found myself in bed at a decent hour, which oftentimes does not happen. Okay. Um, I like to aim for about 10:30. I find that's a great time. And especially if you look at the Ayurvedic clock, it says 10 to 2 is fire time, both AM and PM. So um, so 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. is fire time during the day. That's a great time to eat your heavy meals. Okay. And then 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. is fire time where you're going to get that really good deep sleep. Okay. So to at least be in the bed at some point at the beginning of that, so you don't get caught up. And so, because otherwise you're up and it's fire time and you're like, I'm going to go clean the kitchen and I'm going to go right. And you start going, you start going. And so that's why it's a really good idea to at least get your hinder in the bed. So that's what I like to do. So I found myself there about 10:30, which I was happy about, and really noticing that I was tired, which sometimes I don't notice until I'm like sacked out. So next day, more of the same, the oil pulling and all that. We After our juicing, we went kayaking. It was a gorgeous day. The leaves are starting to change colors. It was just beautiful. Came back, and I have to tell you about we came back and I'm watching this bird. We have this cute little bird bath in the front yard, and it was just like we had to stop so we didn't disturb the bird taking its bath. It was just the most entertaining thing that you could have possibly seen. This bird like fluff all up and get every feather that it could possibly have wet and like splashing around like it's going everywhere. And it was so entertaining and it was so fun to watch. So that just had to be talked about. Um, so yeah, then came back and I just we did our soup and I sat. I just sat and took some time and just like we had the soup outside, so we did a lot of the meals outside because the weather was gorgeous, and just sit and just be in silence and then maybe read a little bit. I read The Telltale Heart real quick, and just things that you mean to do but you don't. Um and I did. I checked some emails. Okay. So that's what I was saying. I wasn't like 100% no screens, but I was no like entertainment and social media type stuff. So then we had our garden, right? We went to the garden for garden picking. We participate in a garden that we go like, well, depending on the season. Right now we're back to weekly, but when it's harvest season, big time, we're twice a week, and we have teams that go and we pick and we donate to a food bank, and then we get to keep our stuff as well. But so it was garden day, so just got to go be out in the world again, in nature again, and appreciative for that. And yeah, so then we ended up with some pumpkin soup that night and games with the family, and then yeah, again getting to bed at a decent time. So that's kind of a quick rundown. Well, sort of quick, right? Sort of quick of a lot of the stuff that I did. So some of my observations were, just noticing things, noticing that, maybe I had some tightness in my face, and noticing that I really wanted to turn on TV when I was tired. So I would come home maybe from running around. Like, we were out for maybe 5 hours on Saturday, and I was tired when we got back, and my knee jerk reaction was to want to turn on the TV. And I realized, oh, this is what I do when I'm tired to give myself a break, right? Because I don't want to just go to bed at this point. It's either too early or there's too much to be done, right? And I need a break, so I turn on the TV, and that's the excuse. And I realized, there might be a better way of going about that for me, because if I take a mind break as well as a body break, it might be much more restorative. So that was definitely a big observation for me. Um, Another one was maybe not, and again, sort of related, not shutting down properly. So, when I'm in work mode, it's like go, go, go. Emails are coming at me, texts are coming at me, messages are coming at me, like rah, rah, rah. And then when I stop work, I'm still in that sort of pace. And so I keep going back to social media, right? And so that was where it fills in. Like, I'm not decompressing. So that was an interesting observation. Another one was that I really noticed that I still have this habit of eating more later in the day. So, for years and years, I taught dance and and did choreography for children's theaters. And, you know, that's all done after school. So my heavy energy, output time would be, like 4 to 8, 4 to 9, something like that. And then I'd come home starving and I'd eat. But at that point, I was, putting out a lot of energy. So I would burn it right back off. These days, not as much. So I really noticed that I still have that programming to want to eat more later in the day. So that was really interesting for me. Um, so yeah, those were just really some of the awareness that was coming to me. And that's what I want to tap on as like really my big takeaways of taking this time to do this reset. Because, for sure, there were times where I was like, I'm hungry, or, oh, but it wasn't so bad. It really wasn't so bad. And, of course, having my partner in crime, my daughter, with me along the way made it far more palatable. Um, but again, I was guided to do this by my intuition. I'm always really a big, like, no thank you to the fasting. For me, I don't want to do it, but for some reason I was like, no, this time. And I'm, like I said, I don't just do like a water fast or anything like that. I stick with juices and soups and things like that. um but then again, waking up this morning, I thought I was going to just, gently start to add back in. And I just had this sense that no, no, one more day. And that was another observation, was the eye, right? The redness around my eye. Like it would get better and then it'd get worse again, and it'd get better and it'd get worse. And then today it really sort of swelled up. And I said, aha, you know how that is. Like a lot of times when it gets much worse before it gets better. And this is kind of why I wanted to share this on Breakthrough or Bust, because what happens before the breakthrough? The breakdown. And so I came with, I mean, I have a tinted moisturizer on, okay? And I don't know how great the light is, but you can see something there. I can see it. Okay. So and some breaking out and everything, but I just wanted to be real and authentic about the breakdown. And this one wasn't an emotional breakdown, so I could be here, right? I could be here and I could be present and I could share. This was much more of a physical breakdown, and also spiritual. So awareness was a big part of it for me. I feel like I'm pretty aware, but then there were some things that I wasn't aware of. And I was like, oh, look at me. Okay. Look at these things that I do. So awareness. And that was the other thing. I didn't go into it to have the answers. I didn't go into it thinking like this is going to be a cure all forever, right? Like this is going to fix me forever. Not at all. Not at all. I went into it just, where is this going to go? Where is this going to lead me? Where is this going to guide me? And so awareness is where it guided me. And I have this awareness, these realizations, and now going forward, I can start making better informed choices, more aware decisions as I do these things. Now I can say to myself, oh, do I really want to sit down and watch a show? Or do I just really want to zone out for a couple minutes and just be still? And I can ask myself and I can trust my answer, right? So the other thing was I really noticed that, excuse me, I was much more mindful. So I talked about that bird and how adorable that was. And then there was like, then we walked past where the bird was, right? So we let it take its full bath and it flew away and we walked past that. And this butterfly comes, dancing from flower to flower. And we sat and watched that for a few minutes, sat on the porch and just looked at the sky, read. Um, what else? Like as we ate our meals, first of all, when all you're doing is drinking juice and eating this, pureed soup, vegetable soup. Look, you want to appreciate every bite because that's what you're getting. You know what I mean? Like until the next meal, that's it. So, oh, every single taste is just, you feel it through every cell of your body, and you just have that appreciation for it. So that was really, I don't know, it was powerful for me. It was powerful for me. I really enjoyed that. And again, it's one of those things that I know, like, you should be doing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can should all over yourself, right? And I don't always do it. Like, oh gosh, if I don't like go grab something while I'm doing my emails, I won't eat till 5 o'clock, right? So just taking that time to be mindful and to be, just be, was really wonderful. I felt like I had so much more time, which is interesting. Usually, it feels like the time is racing by and there's lots to do. And of course, taking for granted that this was the weekend and I intentionally did this over a weekend. But like I said, I went out for like 5 hours on Saturday, running errands, going to a tea party, doing all kinds of things. And I still had time. I still had time to enjoy, to just be. And that was really nice. So, just that intentionality was just a great experience. So, you know, you know how it goes. Then you got to, you know, recirculate back into the real world. Okay. Monday comes and it's time. But it's nice to have taken that time to do that. And who knows, maybe I will make this a practice, along with all of the solstice and equinoxes. I tend to do a lot around those, as far as, resetting. So it might just be one more thing to add to my practice. So that was the big part of it for me, was that awareness, that mindfulness, and that intentionality. So I just came here. I wanted to share the experience with you, and not to say, oh, you need to go do a cleanse, a reset. You need to. There's plenty of that in the world, my love. There's plenty of that. I don't need anybody telling me what I need to do, and neither do you. Okay. I wanted to share what I did and my experience. And, of course, like, more is coming through. And, oh, and I did lose some water weight. So that's a good thing. Um, but just to give you some inspiration, to listen to, what are you being nudged to do? And, that's also a piece of it. If I was like, oh, I need to do this, I guess I'll do it, it would have been so miserable. I think that's also a big awareness. I would have felt tortured all weekend long, where in this case I was like, I'm getting a sense. I think I'm going to lean into the nudge and I'm going to do it. And then it was me choosing, making that choice for me based on some guidance I was getting from my higher self, right? And so I got to be the one in power. It was happening for me, not to me. And I got to enjoy it. And if I didn't want to do it, I didn't have to, but I really wanted to. I really wanted to. And I actually said 2 days, and then woke up the third day and said, one more. I feel that there's power in one more day. So that's something, especially coming from someone like me who is very resistant. That's something. So, that's another thing. This is what I want more of us to do, is lean into what is best for you. what is best for you. And you know what is best for you, my love. You know. Now, you might need to tap into that wisdom because you've been taught to disconnect from it, and that's okay. That is okay. That is where you are in your journey, and that is beautiful. Awareness, right? It always goes right back to awareness. And then that awareness takes you to the next step of your journey. So that's what it's been like for me. I hope you like the new format. I am playing with doing some things. This is some more, downloads that I've been getting to maybe switch things up a bit and, to give people the chance to be interactive in these. My thought is I will, save questions for the end so that I'm not, distracting a podcast by greeting everyone as they come in as I would with a live, but still giving people a chance to be present with me. That's what I really love. That's what I vibe on. So, yeah, this is me, you know, figuratively naked. And my face really is. So, I hope this was helpful for you. I hope you enjoyed this. And I want you to remember to keep pushing through because there's a spark in you. Bye, my love.